so we are recording, and now I just need to share my screen with you guys. All right, perfect. All right, so we're all good to go. Okay, so welcome to everybody. Everyone, so there's a serious noise coming from your mic. Are you guys still experiencing it? Okay, so Ethan is hearing a noise. Okay, Jacobus, you're also hearing a noise. Uh, okay, that's strange because that was with my other device, not this one. So I'm quite confused why that is the case. Let me quickly try something. Oh man, quite a few of you there. I think I know what I'm going to try and do. You said it's from my mic, huh? Same as last year. Last year it was a different device. I don't know now why you're experiencing that, but I'm gonna quickly separate. Uh, Put on another mic. I've been having technical issues all day, and this is just a different one. So, it's been a rough day, and you've only just gotten started, okay? Only just gotten started. So, take this off. Okay. All right. Can you guys hear me? Is that better now? Can I get a thumbs up if that's better? Excellent. All right, cool. All right, so I was using my earphones, but yeah, now I'm using a mic, so I'm glad to hear that that's better. But enough said. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Uh, so the topic that we are doing now is bank reconciliation. We are doing bank reconciliation statement or bank reconciliation period. So I'm just going to talk briefly on what that's all about, and then we're going to get into an actual exercise. Okay. So when it comes to bank reconciliation, you guys have all seen this by now, I'm sure. So here what we have is the bookkeeping cycle. We know we have a transaction, then we have source documents. Okay, then we record our stuff in the journals. Okay, then we have the general ledger. Okay, then thereafter we have the trial balance. Okay, that's the bookkeeping cycle. Okay, no problem there. Nothing new. All right. If that's new to you, I do not know which class you've been attending, but it couldn't have been one of mine. All right. So now this is why I'm showing you this. All right. Is because with bank reconciliation, what's happening is we're recording our bank account. Okay. We balance our bank account. Everything is good. We're happy. Then we get our bank statement. Okay, now our bank statement, the balance that we get at the end of the month on our bank statement should match the balance that we have in our in our bank account in our books. Okay, so what we get in our bank account in our books should be the same as what we get on the bank statement. Now, in reality, it's very rare that that actually is the case. So then what we have to engage in is what we call a bank reconciliation process. Okay? A bank reconciliation process. All right? So that our bank account and bank statement actually have the same bank balance. And that's all that we are doing here in this unit. But again, we have to follow a process in order to execute it efficiently. All right, so this is the initial process that they give you in your textbook, but I want you guys to use the alternative steps, okay? the alternative steps, okay? And it's just because the process is a lot, it's more, I think the process flows a lot better. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you want to compare last month's bank reconciliation statement with this month's bank statement. Okay, and you're going to see this practically. Okay, last month was July. We're going to take July's bank reconciliation statement and compare it to August's. Let's say we're at the end of August bank statement. Why do we do that? Because remember, we sent in a bank reconciliation at the end of July because there were some errors or there were some things that the bank had forgotten to include in their bank statement. So since the month of July is already over, they can only incorporate those things in August. Okay, so that's why we're comparing July's bank reconciliation with August's bank statement. Okay. All right, no problem. Then we go on. Next step. We then have to compare the credit column on your bank statement with the bank column in the cash receipt journal. All right. What are we doing here? We're seeing the amounts that we have received from our sales, from whatever cash we've generated. Do they also reflect in the bank statement? All right. Do we have all the same monies that we've received in the cash receipts journal also reflecting in the bank statement? All right, in the creditors column. Then we go on. After doing that, we do the exact same thing, but this time for the cash payments journal. All right, and this time we're looking at the debit column. All right, the debit column is money leaving us in the bank statement. All right, and we're comparing that with the bank column in the cash payments journal. That's step 3. Step 4, amendments to the cash book. Okay, so in other words, we know that when we refer to the cash book, we're referring to both the cash payments journal and the cash receipts journal. So what are we saying here? We're saying if there were any amounts in the bank statement that are not in the cash receipts journal, we are now including those amounts in the cash receipts journal. If there were any amounts that were in the bank statement but not in the cash payments journal, we're now including those amounts into the cash payments journal. All right, and then if there were any other errors or adjustments that needed to take place in the cash books, then we're also including those. And then next, after we've done the amendments, we now have a new balance, a new total for the bank column in the cash receipts, and a new total for the bank column in the cash payments journal. And those then need to be posted to the bank account in the general ledger. Can you see now where this is now proving relevant? We've amended our journals. Now we're posting again to the general ledger. Okay. Right. Let me scroll back. Okay. Then once we've done our amendments to the bank account or posted to the general ledger, we then go to step 5, where we're identifying items that were in the cash receipts and the cash payments journal, but they were not included in the bank statement. Okay, we in step 2 and 3 we're actually doing that simultaneously. Okay, we're identifying the stuff that's in the CRJ but not in the bank statement. We're identifying stuff that's in the CPJ but not in the bank statement. Okay, so we are doing this simultaneously. But here now we are now at step 5. I would actually say recording items in the CPJ and CRJ not included in the bank statement. We're now recording those. Where are we recording them? We're compiling them in the bank reconciliation statement for the month of August. Okay. All right. Then once we've compiled those items in the August bank reconciliation statement, we then now need to reconcile the actual balance on the bank reconciliation statement to that of our bank account, the new bank balance that we have in the bank account in step 4. These two balances must match. Okay, once those balances match, then we know that we have reconciled our bank correctly. Okay, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is your unit 1 learning unit. So we've already finished the unit. We're not playing games in one serious business here. Ooh, actually, I shouldn't close that because we are going to actually need that when we jump into an exercise, which we will be doing right now. Okay, guys, this is going to require practice on your side. Okay, it's going to require practice on your side. So I want us to do exercise 1.2. Exercise 1.2 in your textbook. And I'd like to ask each of you to grab a pencil, okay, or a clutch pencil, either one, okay? I want you to grab a clutch pencil. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if you have a clutch pencil. You're going to use it. I know we're online, but I need you guys to do this with me. Otherwise, if we don't do this together, trust me, you'll be left behind and left confused. All right. So thank you, Jacobus. Thank you, Musa. Thank you, Etienne. All right. Guys, I need you all to have your pencil. I want to see those thumbs keep coming up. Okay. So keep giving me those thumbs up, guys. Please, can you have your pencil? And I want you opened up to question 1.2. Thank you, Tsepang. Okay. Right. Does everybody else have their pencils? Are they ready to go? I'm taking my time with this because once we start, you're going to end up getting left behind. Thank you, Arya. Okay. Thank you, Dylan. Okay. Thank you, Jonathan. Okay. Awesome stuff. All right, guys, I'm going to get going now. All right. I hope the rest of you have also jumped on board with that. Okay. So, in fact, I don't even need to turn to this right now. I can stay here for now. Okay. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Sergio. Okay. Right. So, let's quickly go to the required like we always do with accounting and finance questions. Thank you, Kellum. Let's quickly go to the required. Under the required, it says, use the information taken from the books of Hubson traders to complete the following for June 2009. Record any differences identified in the bank reconciliation process in the cash book receipts and cash book payments and total the cash book at month end. Okay. Thank you, Kanya. All right. Right. So that's number 1. They want us to record any differences. Next, open post 2 and balance the bank account. All right. B7 in the general ledger. Okay. All right. And then finally compile the bank reconciliation statement as at 30 June 2009. That's the last thing that they want us to do. Okay, no problems, no problems. So let's see what we have. What do we have? If we look there, we have the bank reconciliation statement for Hobson Traders, okay, 31 May 2009. We have the bank statement, all right, from BB Bank. That's who we're banking with. All right, for June. Can you see they gave us last month's, the previous month's bank reconciliation? Okay. And then we have the cash receipts journal for June, and we have the cash payments journal for June. Okay, no problem. Happiness over there. Okay. So then we say to ourselves, okay, we know that we need to do bank reconciliation. So where do we begin again? Let's see. What's our first step? Again, remember, we're using the alternative, but I want you guys to make this process your own, so please make sure you practice. I'm going to give you homework at the end of this to get you going for our next session. All right? All right, cool. First step, compare last month's bank reconciliation statement with this month's bank statement. Okay, no problem. Cool. So let's do that. Okay. I again, I don't need to be here. Okay, so I hope you're all looking at your textbooks. If you look there, first line there in the bank reconciliation statement, balance as per bank statement, 52,980, 56 cents. Okay. And if you look there at the bank statement for Triple B Bank, all right, you have balance 52,980, 56 cents. Okay. So the opening balance on your May bank reconciliation should be your opening balance on your June bank reconciliation. Take note of that. Okay. Right. So we can tick off the amount there, that 52,980, 56 cents. You tick that off in the bank reconciliation statement and you tick it off in the bank statement. All right. You tick it off in both. Then we move on to the next amount. Okay. Less outstanding checks. So these were outstanding checks. These were checks, payments basically, that needed to go off in the bank. All right. That did not go off last month. Okay. So let's see. Check number 65. Did we record this? Now, before we go any further, something to quickly tell you. When it comes to the bank account, your debit side, debit, okay, is where we are losing money. Okay, money is leaving us. Okay. Okay. And then your credit, is where money is coming in. Why is this the case? Money coming into your bank account. We say money inflow. I like that better. Okay. Money coming into your bank account. Okay. Why this is the case? Because we've always said that the bank, because it's from the bank's point of view, 100%, Callum, it's the bank. The bank looks at your bank account as a liability because the bank owes us money. So can you see? It's increasing on the credit side. It owes us more money when we have money, all right, and decreases on the debit side, all right. We lose money, okay. But in our books, when we are working on the bank account, we know that it increases on the debit side and decreases on the credit side, okay. I'm just going to put our bank here. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Perfect. So we're done with that. So what you can do for yourself right now is to put a negative under debit on the bank statement and then a positive on credit on the bank statement. Okay. We've dealt with that. Let's push on. So we look at check number 65. Check number 65, is it on the credit side of your bank account? It's not there. Okay. So what we then need to say, since this was in the bank recon for May, what we then need to do is then put bank recon dash June. So you should put BR and then dash J for June. Okay. Because that amount needs to be recorded in the bank recon for the following month, since it wasn't actually recorded in June's bank statement. Okay. All right. So I want you to write that out, guys. I need you writing this in your textbooks. Okay. I need you writing that in your textbooks. I'm going to say what I told my other class. I know your parents don't like you guys writing in your textbooks, but I know for sure that your parents like you passing. So let's handle business. Okay. All right, cool. So then we move on. We look for the 2,319.16 cents. That's check number 97 in the bank reconciliation statement. Is it present in your bank statement on the debit side? Somebody tell me yes or no. Is it present? Do we have an amount of 2,319.16 cents in your bank statement on the debit side? Thank you, Etienne. Thank you, Jacobus. Thank you, Callum. Aria. Yes, Jonathan. 100% it's there. So you tick it off in your bank statement and you tick it off in your bank reconciliation to say, yes, this has been dealt with. All right? No problems there. Then we go to check number 98, 3,478. Is it in the debit column in your bank statement? Is it there? Do you see an amount of 3,478 Rand? Nope, I also don't see it. Thank you, Muzamil. Nope, I don't see it. 100% Callum. All right, I don't see it. Okay, so then where do we need to include this? Where does this amount need to be recorded? The new bank reconciliation, yes, and that being for June. So again, I want you guys to write BR next to it and then J for June. Okay, bank reconciliation for June. Okay, we need to know where each amount is going to be recorded. Then we go to the section under in the bank reconciliation statement that says add outstanding deposits. And there, if you look there, it says deposit slip number 56, 2,028 Rand and 26 cents. Okay. Okay. Then we say, okay, so this is outstanding deposits. Okay. So we know money coming in is recorded on the credit side. Remember, we put a positive on the credit side. So then we say to ourselves, okay, cool. On the credit side, do we have an amount of 2,029 Rand, 26 cents? Yes, we do. On the first day, deposit. Thank you, Jacobus. Thank you, Callum. All right, we do. So we tick it off in the bank statement. We tick it off in the bank reconciliation statement. We go to the next one. Add bank error on bank deposit 53. 2,898.95 cents. Do we have it on the credit side in the bank? Yes, we do. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Jacobus. We do. Okay, so we tick it off in both. Cool, no problem. Happiness over there. Thank you, Callum, as well. Happiness over there. So now we've compared our bank statement to our previous month's bank reconciliation. So can you see we've dealt with step number 1. Now we can go on to step number 2. Okay. Step number 2, again, we're comparing the cash receipts journal bank column to that of the credit bank column in the bank statement. Okay, cool, no problem. Hey, that was a mouthful. All right, cool. So we go to the cash book receipts of Hobson Traders on the next page, and there we see the bank column. All right, so first transaction there with K Phillips, 5,956 3 cents. Do we see that on the credit side in the bank statement? Is it there? Yes, it is there. Thank you, Jacobus. It is there. Okay, so we tick that off in the cash receipts journal, and we tick that off in the bank statement. We move to the next one. We have 3,200. All right, yes, it is there. So we tick that off in the cash receipts journal, and we tick that off in the bank statement on, that's the last transaction on the first. Okay, then we go to T Trent on the 19th in the cash receipts journal, 3,022 Rand 97 cents. Okay, we see it there, but do we see it on the credit side in the bank statement? Is it there? Is it there? Nope, nope, nope. Thank you, guys. It is not there. Okay, so circle that amount, and put bank recon, BR, next to it. Okay, BR-J for June. Okay, cool. Then we move to the next one. We see 1,778.22 cents. Is it there in the bank statement? Nope. 100%. It's also not there. Okay, thank you, gentlemen. It's also not there. So we circle it and we put bank recon next to it again as well. Okay, happiness there. And then finally we have 2,133.86 cents. Again, this amount is also not on the credit side in your what you call it, your bank statement. Okay, so again, circle that and put BR for bank recon. Now, can you see we've compared to see whether the amounts in the bank column in your cash receipts are there in the bank statement, but there are also still amounts that we haven't ticked off in the bank statement on the credit side, okay, that are also that we haven't ticked off. What that means is that there are amounts in our bank statement where we were receiving money, but we had not ticked them off because they are not present in the cash receipts. So we then now need to go to all those amounts. The first amount, for example, is on the 9th, and it says direct deposit J Fella. All right, so put there CRJ next to that 2,325 Rand 65 cents. All right. On the 9th, put CRJ next to that amount there. We go to the 19th, we also see there an amount of 2,822 Rand 97 cents. So you put a CRJ next to that as well. Right below that, on the 22nd, we see an amount of 4,638 Rand 31 cents. Put CRJ next to that as well. Okay, then on the next page, we have one final amount of 529 Rand 32 cents. Okay, there you also want to put it. Okay, awesome stuff. All right, that on the 28th, you can see interest on credit balance. Okay, so those amounts need to be recorded in the cash receipts journal. Okay, can you see something interesting? Guess what? We finished step number 2. We finished step number 2. Now we need to go to step number 3. And we're doing the exact same thing, but now we're doing that for the cash payments journal. All right, we're doing that for the cash payments journal this time. Okay, so we look in the cash payments journal. All right, you'll see that I'm following a strict procedure. I'm not looking at the bank and then seeing if the amounts are in the cash. I'm starting with the cash payments and seeing if those amounts are there. And then after I look in the cash, and then I look in the bank statement and see if those amounts are in the, if there are any outstanding amounts that are not in the cash payments journal. Okay, guys, this is why I'm saying you have to practice this process, because you might do it vice versa. You might start with the bank column on the debit side and see if those amounts, and either way it still works. All right, you just need to be fluid with your process. Okay, but this works best for me. Okay, right. So first amount there, we have a 7,679 Rand and 80 cents. Yep, it's there. It's there in the debit side of the bank statement. So we tick it off in both. Okay, amount has been dealt with. Next one, we have 5,759 Rand 86 cents. Yes, it's in both. You tick it off. Then on the 6th, in the cash payments journal, we have an amount of 831 Rand 98 cents. It is not in the bank statement. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? So circle that amount, and then you can write bank recon next to it. Okay. Then we move on to the next one. On the 10th, we have an amount of 8,959.78 cents. Can you see it there? Is it present in the bank statement? Somebody tell me. Yes, it is there. Okay, so tick it off in the cash payments journal. Thank you, Callum. Thank you, Jacobus. And you tick it off in the bank statement as well. Okay. Then we go to the next amount, 10,879. Okay. We have that amount in the bank statement. Okay. Twice actually. But we're just going to tick off one amount because we only have it once in the cash payments journal. Okay. Awesome stuff. All right. Tick it off in both. All right. But leave that second amount alone. Then we have a 1,212 Rand 77 cents. So we're going to tick that off in the cash payments journal and tick it off in the bank reconciliation statement because we have it in both. Then we move on to the next. We have a 4,857 in the cash payments journal, and we have it also in the bank statement on the 23rd. So we tick it off in both. Then we move on to the next amount that we have there. We have 1,233.43 cents, and we have that in the bank statement on the 27th. So we tick that off as well. Okay. Then we have a 3,839 Rand. But guess what? We don't have that. We don't have that in the bank statement. So what must we do? Somebody tell me. What must we do with that 3,839 Rand 91? Thank you very much, Jacobus. That needs to go to the bank reconciliation statement for June. Okay. All right. You guys are really starting to get the process now. Okay. If you get the process, trust me, these are your marks. Okay. And bank recon, it is coming. It is coming. It is coming. Okay. Then last one there, we have an 18,743 cents, 43 Rand, 68 cents. Again, we don't have it. So what are we going to do there? Where does this need to go? We circle it, and where does it need to go? Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much, Muzamil. Thank you very much, Jacobus. Okay, Callum. It's already in the cash payments journal, so it needs to go to the bank recon for June. Okay. So we've compared our cash payments journal, but now we need to check and see, are there amounts in the bank statement on the debit side are not in the cash payments? All right. Are there things we haven't ticked off? And the answer is definitely yes. Because if we look on the 7th, check number 101, we see we haven't ticked that off. So that needs to go where? That needs to go to the cash payments journal. Okay. So there, write CPJ next to it. Then we have monthly fees also on this 7th. There you also need to write CPJ. Okay. We have government levy also on the 12th in the bank statement. So there we need to write CPJ. Okay. Then on the 14th, we have check number 103. And there we also need to write the second one. Okay. We need to write CPJ because we only have one in the CPJ. So this other one then needs to obviously be included. Okay. Then we have return to drawer, AZAC, return to drawer. Again, remember, just to recap, what this means is we're saying when we have a return to drawer, this AZAC paid us money or wrote us a check. Let me say that. He wrote us a check, okay? But the check bounced, okay? The check bounced, Okay, so as such, we then get a message from the bank written on the check, return to draw. Okay, which means that the check bounced. We didn't manage to get the funds into your bank account. Okay, so put CPJ next to that. Then we go to the next page, transaction fees. You can see there we record CPJ. Then we have check number 98714. We also put CPJ next to that. And then we have those last two amounts, debit order Freedom Insurance and debit order SA Poverty Management. We also put CPJ next to that. Okay, right. So now guess what? We have just finished step number 3. Step number 3. All right, we've just finished step number 3. Now we can go on to do amendments. But what I would suggest that we do instead of doing amendments is that we actually go through additional information. The additional information. Okay. So let's quickly do that, and then I'll give you guys a break. Okay. Let's quickly do that, and then I'll give you guys a break. Under additional information, it says the business. It says the business had the following duplicate deposit slips. Deposits are made daily when required. Okay. So the first three, you can tick off. Just in the interest of time, I'm just going to tell you the first 3 we have obviously recorded that these actually reflect, because remember these deposit slips, they are obviously, we received cash in the cash receipts journal, and then these deposit slips are evidence that we actually deposited the money in the bank account. So the first 3 do reflect in the bank account, the last 3 don't. Okay, so you can just put a nice big colony or column type thing and put BR there. Then check number 65 is now stale and must be cancelled. Stale. What does stale mean? Stale means we wrote out a check to these people, they haven't cashed in the check, or the check hasn't been cashed in for 6 months, so then we reverse the check. Yes, it's too old, it's 6 months old or greater. Okay, it's expired. Yes, I love that. Thank you guys. Okay, so now what we then need to do is that check needs to be recorded in the cash receipts journal. That is check number 65 in the bank record. Remember, for May we wrote, we need to write this in the bank record for June. So cross out the BRJ next to that and put CRJ, okay, because that's where it actually needs to be recorded. Okay, then we have the bank has recorded check number 101 at the incorrect amount. If we look at check number 101, okay, we see check number 101 is 881 Rand 98 cents. That's on the 7th in the bank statement. Okay, now if you go to your cash payments journal and you look for doc number 101 on the 6th day with 11 supermarket, you'll see under bank column it is 83198. So what does that tell you? Okay, so if the bank got it wrong and the bank debited, it means it took money from us. So if that amount is greater than the amount that it should be, because remember the amount that it should be is the amount that they took off was 88198, right? But the amount that it should be is 831.98. Okay, so that is a 50 Rand difference. Okay, so whenever the bank makes an error, We record that in the bank recon for June, for that month. Okay, so that needs to go to the bank recon for June. So we need to cancel out CPJ and put BR-June. Okay, and that 50 Rand is what we're going to record there in the bank recon. Okay, that's money we need to receive. Okay, so that was number 3. Okay, guys, let me not go further. I'm scared I might burn your minds or exhaust you mentally. So let me park it here. We will finish off reading the additional information when we get back from the break. Okay, and then we will proceed to then actually start recording this right here. So let's link up again at 11:02, and then we will proceed with the exercise. Okay, but I hope everybody is getting what we're doing thus far. And then if anything, if you have a question, please ask. Just because we're online doesn't mean you shouldn't ask. Please ask at any given point in time. But if you already have a question, please post it in the chat. All right, Shakira, thank you very much. I'm glad you are good. Okay. All right, awesome stuff. So let's break, and I'll see you guys at 11:03.